Watch your headphones.
Oh, yeah, watch your
This
headphones.
record.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
I'm going to pull these ears. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
He said, oh, yeah. Listen. Oh, my God. What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Lane, with Talking Tunes podcast. And as you could probably tell already by the looks on our faces, we are turned, okay? We are excited.
You can't drink something and then to say that, King.
You know what?
I'm just yelling. Go ahead.
No, this is good.
I need to
See,
stop.
this is why we're turned. See, our guest, which he's not really a guest. We're going to tell you about him in a minute, but I'm going to just say to y'all, thank you so much for joining us, tuning in, liking, subscribing, hitting that notification bell, sharing, participating in the chat when we are having these family conversations. But without further ado, I'm going to kick it over to my brother, Mr. King Logan. What's up with you, King?
Hey, man, what's happening? What's going down? Good people, what it is, what it ain't, what it could be, what it should be.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Sound like your daddy over there.
Yo, listen, man. I just got an issue, Montez. Like, we live, but we can't be seen, though.
Wait, hold on. The people can't see us?
Nah, screen dark. Screen dark.
Because the people need to be able to see us.
The people got to see us, man. We come on now. Come on now.
Again,
Come on now.
What?
Come on now.
Bro,
we checked this earlier. But anyway, man, listen, life is good. Life is, we out here, we doing our thing. It's
we're doing it.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It literally is. It is beautiful. The weather's nice. It's cooling off a little bit. Yeah.
Listen, are we going to ever get a fall? I don't think we're ever going to get a fall.
I think
I
a
totally
few
agree.
times.
We're going to jump right into winter and we're going to freeze. But listen, while Montez is working on that, let's go ahead and get to the. Let's get to it.
Wait, are we recording though?
Yes, we are.
Okay, and
absolutely
should we slate here? Okay, good.
All right, because we got 5 people in the room, man. We can't be seen.
Hold on.
This is insane. But hey, listen, man. Today, I am excited to have this particular guest, man. I'm a fan of his work. I don't know. Do we just go with Asaph, or do we just pull a whole name out? Because I looked at the name, I was like, Jesus Christ!
I say Asaph Alexander Ward.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like you have to say that with such it has a regal. It has a regal air to it. You know what I mean? It's like,
on his
my name is Asaph Alexander.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all give it up for Alex Asaph.
Yeah, y'all
Ward,
know me
man.
by
Y'all
Alex.
give it up,
Y'all
man.
know.
Give it up. Give it up. Montez, can I get some claps? No, you
He
slap.
said, "Hold on, man."
You know what? Listen, I'm not sure what's going on, but OG, welcome to the show, man.
Yes.
Welcome to the show. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
We're honored that you're here. We're going to get into a conversation that, it might, at some points, it might ruffle some people's feathers.
Oh, wow.
What? We got some feather ruffling things to discuss today.
Listen, man, why not? You got an OG on the show. Let him give he gives us his take on certain things. You know what I'm saying?
I look at it as a good, healthy challenge. And
absolutely.
An opportunity to see things through a different lens. That's
so,
how I see it.
how's life treating you? How you doing? What's going on with you, man?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm happy to be alive. We watching people, pass away.
Yeah.
Some families, some friends, some people younger, much younger, some people older. We just watching life go by, man. So I'm blessed to be in the living, man, and have the activities of my limbs and my mind, enjoying married life, with a dog. Lanisha, we have a dog.
A dog.
I got to meet the dog now.
It's Royalty, who she's been talking about to you all this time.
Oh.
Her dog from the past. Long story. Very crazy story. But the pound found him far away in a colony somewhere while we was in Africa. So she had to fly back a couple of weeks. Yeah, this just happened. So he in the house. He terrorizing everything. So we have a dog. So God is good with that. We'll talk later about that. But God is good. I'm in a different place in my life. I'm more clear than I've ever been clear.
That's good.
I'm in a good personal development space. I'm in a good mental health space. And I understand more things more than ever now. about life,
when you say a personal development space, what do you mean?
Well, okay, so you're hearing everywhere in the informational business out there. You got everyone's a coach now, right? So there's a.
I'm laughing because I said that to Lane earlier. I was like, everybody's a coach.
No, everybody is, and it's bad. It's kind of like everyone's a preacher, and then when a bad preacher do something bad, then you just in the mix of bad preachers,
right.
Or whatever, artists or producers. Like my wife says, she was not going to marry a producer. Producers just had a horrible name for her and horrible experience. But then she's so glad she met me. So anyway, personal development, that's what she say. Personal development and transformation are different. With personal development, you take the things that you have, that you actually have your hands to, that you got in your hands, things you have, and you find out how to develop and make things better, for you,
right.
with what you have. So like, for instance, when a stylist comes over your house and say, okay, we're going to see what we can do. They go in your closet first to see if you have something in your hand that they can work with, that they can really rock with you. Then when you don't have nothing, then you go to transformation. They throw everything away and be like, nah, we got to go buy something new. And so that's the difference with personal development. I'm using what I have. I'm comfortable with what I have to offer. I'm not jealous of someone else's gift over mine. I'm able to celebrate other people who can do what I can't do. I'm just in a good personal space. So that's what I mean by personal development space.
Okay, that I understand, because I'm kind of in that space as well. You know what I'm saying? I read a saying a few years ago, and it says, I'm wise enough and humble enough to know I'm not the greatest in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm paraphrasing them. Basically, I'm in the room for what it is I can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I never try to, I'm at a space now, because life has shown me you got to chill out sometimes, because I was always, King, can you do? Yep, I sure can. Yep, I sure can. Yes. Yep, I sure can. Yep, I sure can. Yep, I can. And it became overwhelming, number one. Number two, it became a thing of, man, that's not my wheelhouse. So I'm getting, it's putting bad light on me. Like, he really can't do that. But the things that I can do,
absolutely,
I'm absolutely comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? Being
100%.
It's because a lot of people don't know this. I got accepted to Booker T. Washington School of Arts for vocals. I'm a singer first before anything else.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? I'm a singer first. So I never go out and tell people, oh, I can sing. So when it's come time to produce vocals, the people really be kind of like, can you really do vocals though? And it's like, yeah, just because you don't know I can do it. But I'm at a space of being self-aware and being
self-aware.
You know what I'm saying? Comfortable in my space where somebody said, King, I need you to do a session. Okay, let's see what the session holds. Is it worth it? Let me ask you that. Do you ever look at assess the situation before you say yes to the
100%
session?
100% now?
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
100% now I do.
Yeah?
Yeah, because the truth is when you have, I realize that my heart is huge.
Right.
I've always had a huge heart ever since I was young. So my heart be having conversations with people and I leave my mind out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I bring my mind along with the conversation. So I don't let my heart just make the decision. My mind has all the real answers. It has the facts. It knows what we're dealing with. It knows how I'm going to feel 2 weeks inside of it. Mm-hmm. So I'm in a healthier space with assessing what I'm about to do now.
Right.
Yeah. Very true.
All right.
Wow,
so
that's so good.
What makes you say no to a session?
Well, this is going to sound interesting, but after 80 albums, over 900 songs published, I'm like, I'm over trying to just do something just to be doing it.
Yeah.
Now it has to make sense to me. And then I don't mean financial just makes sense. I mean, it doesn't have to, it ain't even about the money. It's about, does this, what I'm about to do, convert over something for me? It's about conversion. If I do this, how is this going to benefit where I'm going? And if something doesn't do that, then that it's going to be a no. And I have a way of letting someone know I just can't do it.
So what, speaking on that, the conversion.
Yes.
How do you know if you don't do it?
Well, the thing is, everyone needs to know what they want their gift to convert over to. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, it could be a producer, it could be a singer, it could be an artist, whatever. When they getting ready to do something, you got to ask yourself, do I want more fans? Do I want Billboard awards? Do I just want to get nominated for a Stellar? Is it because I need to make money? Whatever your conversion outcome is in your mind, your moves got to fit that.
True.
So let's just be honest. Some people, they're happy doing great graphics and doing great flyers, and they'll get 5 likes. And whatever they're doing doesn't convert because what they're looking for is more fans. Okay, well, you're not doing something to get more fans. You put in a lot of money and time into your graphics, but your sound isn't great. Your mix isn't great. Your vocals aren't great. It's like you have to protect your conversion. I didn't know what I wanted to convert over to. Only thing I knew about is I wanted to do great music and I wanted to pay my bills. So the whole pay bill part, it would go into a project I shouldn't be doing because I need that money. And then what I'll do is I'll let the person know, hey, I really don't like just working on projects, like this for money. So I'm going to need to know that you're committed to every single thing that I'm going to be having you do. When you're practicing, I'm going to have to use some of my own musicians. I'm going to have to do this because I'll take a project in the past, long time. I'll take a project and then they'll call me and say, okay, yeah, so the guys want to know what time to come to the studio. And I'm like, what guys? Their band and Cousin Pookie and all of them, Yeah. So then I'm like, man, I got to tell them they not playing on this record.
All right.
Or I got to find a way to infiltrate them into it. So sometimes I'm working way harder than the money. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think I've ever done a project where it was worth the money they gave me. Like I did way more than what they gave me, So I just learned what I want converted over to. I want to help people. I want to do great music, meaning I want someone to feel inspired and encouraged by what I released in the earth. That's like a very serious conversion for me. And of course, if it's going to take me away from my wife, if it's going to take me away from working on like my solo album and stuff like that, it has to make sense or it's a no. I no longer can take something that's going to be a leveraging me thing. It has to make sense. Sometimes somebody will use you because they just leverage you.
Right.
They learn how to leverage you. And then when it's time for you to do your thing and you need them, they don't have time.
Listen to me, you preaching.
That's another conversation. So for me, that's okay. God told me, don't be mad at nobody. Don't say, when you see them. You just learn your lesson. And you need to understand. No, absolutely. The Holy Spirit got me because you'll see somebody that definitely took advantage of you and you'll be like, ugh. And that energy goes into your music. That energy goes into your conversations with other people. It's like, I got to get rid of the uhs. So I got to understand that, shame on you the first time, shame on me the second time. I got a song like that too. So kind of crazy.
Hey, so anyway, quick question. I want to ask, because you said, about the and projects that you didn't feel fulfilled or couldn't convert over. You said in your bio, you mentioned the feeling of being unfulfilled doing secular music.
Correct. Yeah.
Can you speak into that, please?
Okay. So, well, first of all, complete transparency. The only reason why I went into secular is because the church and gospel music wouldn't even give me a chance to produce anything.
That's what's done to all of us.
I mean, because I was in church first. I mean, that's what I was trying to do. I was producing doing demos and doing different things. Every time I would do a song and people be killing it in their car, they be like, oh God, this is hot. I'm like, okay, cool, this is great. But then they're like, we're going to get such to do it. And it was always that. So I was like, okay. So then secular is like, back this is more on the East Coast, they was more like, hey, we need that. And they brought me over there, give me some change. And I was in the studio back in those days. It was like working with Jodeci people, Devontae and them. And then it was Kurt Woodley and Charlie Davis with RCA Records at that time. And dealing with artists with Tommy Mottola was working with and stuff like that. So I started really learning. This is going to check this out.
Go ahead.
I learned what the do's and don'ts are in the studio from being over there in secular. It wasn't gospel because we put tape on everything.
You better listen.
Let's talk about them do's and don'ts.
Well, it's everyone needs to just be mature. This is not hey guys, go experience this so you can learn how to do this. This was my journey. I was out there, but I didn't like what went along with that, King. I'm learning a ton of stuff, but after the studio, I got to go to the strip joint.
Yeah.
After at that time, I didn't know how to tell everyone no and be the Debbie Downer or Douglas Downer. I didn't know how to do that. So we going to clubs, they got to go to parties, and stuff is going around. And thank the Lord that I was great at what I did. They didn't care that I didn't partake. But I got tired of just being in that environment. And I'll never forget, this is a true story. I think the straw that broke the camel's back. This is when LL Cool J's doing it and doing it and doing it. Well. That it just came out, the video. And I had to go to the strip joint because that's where the guy that was managing everything, he wanted to go take some roses to a stripper up there. So I had to go up there with him, and he was determined to break me. So he threw me in one of those rooms and threw some money in there, and the girls just dancing. And I'm at that time back then, this is the 90s. I was married for about a year with my first marriage. And I was like, this was really crazy. I'm like, why am I in a strip joint? Why am I looking at all this? This is definitely not going to help me. I want to do music. So I got mad. I called my wife at the time. I called her from the strip joint and said, I'm at the strip joint. I was like, I'm really tired of being here. She's like, what you doing at that? I was like, this is where I had to come. So then when he saw me do that, he said, you are crazy. You are a church boy. He's like, all right, we ain't going to never take you nowhere else. So then from that point, they took me to the hotel after all the studio sessions.
So let me ask you something. Yeah. Because you saying you had to go, right? We was talking last week and we were talking about the whole Diddy situation. In my experience, man, like no one's ever, and again, me and you've probably been in some of the same rooms, worked around some of the same people. No one ever made me, or I never had to. Why you say you had to go?
Well, what it is it's the narrative that a person is fearful that if they don't participate in social gatherings, that they're going to lose their opportunity. It wasn't I had to. It was what I told myself that I am going to lose out on these opportunities if I continue to complain about things socially. So to be literal,
right.
No one made me do nothing.
Okay,
it was and it showed after that last thing. He's like, man, you really don't want this stuff. I said, I don't, man. I just want to work. They never asked me to go nowhere else after that.
Right.
And then it just got to the point to where God started pulling on me. At that point, I learned some stuff. I was mixing with Prince Charles Alexander. He mixed that Jodeci Diary of a Madman. He mixed LL Cool J stuff. He was mixing Pink stuff. He was mixing everybody's stuff. I got to work with a real mixer. Wu-Tang Clan, all this stuff. He was mixing all that stuff. So then that's when I found out. I'm going to tell you what happened. I did music to this song. It was just a dirty song. It was very nasty. All the lyrics was about what this guy plans to do to this woman. Very dirty song. It was just of the devil. So, but my music I did the music for it. And I was mixing this song with Prince Charles, and he kept having trouble with it for 2 days, like not liking something. And I was like, I know he liked my music. This is cold, whatever. It wasn't until I brought Jonathan DeBose in because I needed a guitar. He drove up from Connecticut and he laid some guitar for me, but he was in there on the third day. And on the third day, Jonathan noticed that he had a hard time with the mix. He said, I don't know what's going on. Jonathan said, I do. And he was like, what? He says, mute the vocals. And when Prince Charles when he muted the vocals, he got pushed out of his chair, back out of his chair. Like, whoa, he couldn't even come near the board. He said, what is this? Jonathan said, that's the anointing, my brother. That's the anointing. He said, the only reason why you having conflict because of those lyrics and then his anointed music. So this is a real conversation, right? So then Prince Charles says, you talking about the anointing like the church thing? He's like, yeah. He says, man, I left church. He said, I left church 10 years ago because the pastor ran off with our money and the tithes and everything else. He says, I'm done with church. And he ain't been in church in a long time. He says, I didn't even believe that anointing was real. And then he says, if you want to know it's real, he said, put those lyrics back in. When he unmuted and put the lyrics back in, he was able to touch the board. That was my first time realizing I was lending. This is just me. I was lending my gift to something that was dark. And then it's not so much that I was telling myself I was wrong. It was the fact that I was watering myself down because I was allowing something dark to partner with my music. After that experience, God just started pulling on me saying, hey, you gotta lead this, and it was getting bad. Drugs in the studio, different things. I never did none of that stuff. Never did it, but I was around it. And I left it. I got a call from Boyz II Men, like, yo, we need you, we're going to come down here and do this Uncle Sam record and all this other stuff. So I was working with Boyz II Men, and I'm like, I finally did it. I'm around, this is just love. This ain't bad music. This is like nothing. So I thought I did it. I was like, Lord, see, this is better. But then, like, we got locked in the studio, like when I say locked, I mean, like we was working and the person said, no, until y'all finish these songs, ain't nobody leaving the studio. And they locked. It was 6 locks on the door. We got locked inside.
Tell you what's crazy about that. Not to cut you off. I've heard stories like that. Man, God knew not to put me in no situation like that.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
Because who you talking to, bro? I'm not them.
Yeah. I know that wouldn't have worked with you.
Nah, cause it couldn't. On my mama. Because
let me tell you what happened. When it happened to me, I was fussing. I was like, no, what? Everybody's like, shh, please, man, please. You about to mess up everything for us. I said, what? They're like, please, just stop. Because I was going off on him. It was Nate. I'll say it. Nate locked us in that room. So then I was like, why do y'all let him do that? You know what they said next? They said, he's our bread. He's our water. I said, now I'm hearing all this other stuff. I'm like, man, I thought this was supposed to be the cleanest thing. The funny thing is, one of the other Boyz II Men was locked in there with me. But this is the deal. The next morning, when he unlocked those locks and let us out, he started massaging my shoulders and taking me around the studio and everything.
All right.
And he took me upstairs in a room, a white padded room with no air condition. 2 producers was in there. It wasn't just it was just keyboards and MPs in there, and a glass of water for them.
Right.
And he said, "Hey, how y'all doing? Y'all need some more water?" No, they sweating. No, we almost done. All right, I'm proud of y'all. He shut the door and locked them in there. And all I'm thinking about is, this is about to be me. Oh no.
My gosh.
Listen, I never said another word to that label, Time and Toll in them. I ain't never say nothing. The Lord said, it's time for you to come back. I got something for you. And then that's when I was like, okay, I'm going to just manage the artist, because I was managing too. I learned the industry. So he said, no, you got to give that up too. So I gave up my management to Biggie Smalls' manager and let him handle my guy. Huh?
Mark Pitts?
Yeah, Pitts.
Yeah, that's my dog, man.
No, it was like, gave it to them. Now, I don't know if he took it. I just know they was on the table. That's what my guy said, that he took it. He supposed to broker that deal. But anyway, I gave up the management. It was only 10%. And then I was watching Ken and Ivan Wayans show on TV one night, and Boys Men came down, and my artist that I was managing and producing and gave everything up for it went platinum, and they had the plaque. And all I know is I turned down all that money, right? So then I just started crying. I was like, I ain't gonna never get. It was more of, it wasn't but it was more of the tears going down, like, I don't believe this.
Hallmark
tears was going down. And then I said, Lord, you got to do something. Well, then I'm not going to get into this, but the next week, that's when the Kim Burrell Everlasting Life record came up.
Oh, we getting into that, brother. You can go on. Listen, let me tell you something right now. That's coming. That album right there. That's how
I got to that.
Okay, got you.
I've never been, besides, working with David Foster and Mary and them.
So it was just because, it was because you're sitting in the studio and it just didn't come together. The song, you felt that the song was dark.
Which one?
Is that why you became unfulfilled and that's why you left secular music? Because of those experiences?
I left unfulfilled because at that time in the 90s, I actually saw darkness and bumped heads with it and saw how I'm so far away from it. Mm-hmm. I wasn't in the streets. I wasn't sleeping around. I wasn't the type of dude to get drunk. I wasn't smoking weed. I wasn't doing... So to be in all of those environments, it didn't work out for me.
King,
I know that's funny, King.
Listen, no, because I'm listening.
He said, Lord Jesus.
I'm listening to how you saying that, right? And it's like, that was that wasn't my story. I was
the minority.
Yeah, I was with all the smoke.
I'm not saying,
I was the minority with the extra. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I didn't need nobody to tell, because peer pressure's never been a thing of mine. I've been walking the streets of Dallas since I was 16 years old by myself, so I wasn't even, nobody could push me into doing nothing. If I was smoking, that's because I bought my own weed and I was smoking. It was my weed. It ain't nobody else's weed. You got to understand, like you
got your own mind.
You know what I'm saying? Because in my one of my biggest records was Icebox. I did that record in the bedroom of a dope trap. Like, dudes was in the living room packing up weed, packing up dope. I'm in the bedroom working on a record. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My experience, I've heard of the stories like you've heard, but my experience was definitely, and I got to be honest with you, most people, my experience with Timbaland was way different. It was better. I didn't have to worry about any of that. I didn't listen, when I tell you I didn't have to worry about none of, and like one of the things Tim did, and I think that's what kind of made everybody be like, oh, we better leave King alone. Tim said, King is the only person that can walk away from the camp and still win without me. He said that on the bus. And then they started getting mad at me. And I said to everybody, y'all know what's up. I'm with everything. I'm on whatever y'all on. What's up?
Yeah,
y'all mad? Y'all beefing? What's happening? Like, because I knew going in that I'm nobody's yes man. And honestly, the crazy part about it, Alex, I got respected for that, because I was nobody's yes man. Yo, what you think about this record? Man, that record garbage, homie. Straight up. I don't
You've
like it.
You've always been that.
You've never
changed. I've never seen
who I am.
Different. Yeah.
Me and Busta Rhymes in the studio, Busta playing this record. One record he was playing, it was insane. I was like, Busta, your big man. You like that record?
Oh
you
my
like
gosh.
that? I'm like, yeah, that record hard.
The voice.
Tim looked at Busta, Tim say, yo, if he says hard, that's a hard record right there. But then he played the following record, and I was just like, it's cool. All right, so that might just be an album filler. That ain't no single. I thought it would be a single. Nah, but dog, that ain't what it is.
Respect got built up,
because at the end of the day,
trust.
That's why, like this whole Diddy situation, there's a lot going on. You got 6 more people than said, it's just a lot happening. But then the one, I just wanted to say, because I don't want, the music business got a bad rep for the darkness. You dig what I'm saying? But like you said earlier, most people say yes, so they won't get blackballed, alienated, you know what I'm
100%.
saying, pushed out.
Yeah.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? This is my opportunity, so I got to say, man, I was never that way. Like, I'm for real. I done had people say, King, you should, nah, I'm good, brother. What's up? You know what I mean? I just feel like sometimes people, I don't want to say I get a bad rap, but it is what it is. People look at King and be like, oh, he's a bit rough around the edges. No, I'm not rough around the edges. I just stand on what I stand on. I look at it like this.
You considered a black and white person to me.
I am. Absolutely. So, you got to, look, this what we doing, this what we ain't doing. All that in between, don't play with me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if a change happened between this and this, just communicate it with me. That way we can figure it out. Because I'm a very, especially the older I get, I'm a very matter-of-fact person. I'm a very spot on. Like, if this what we say we're doing, this is what we're doing. Don't come when I need to do. Look, bro, I don't even like all the extra changes. If the session was booked, I got to be honest. How do you feel about this? If the session is booked for 8:00 and you show up at 9:30 on your Hollywood, session over for me. I don't know what you like. For me, I don't like people showing up to the studio.
Well, this is the problem. The thing is, the one thing you and I have in common is we're respected and considered to be strong in our skill set of what we do.
Right.
Now, the difference between us is you're a black and white person, as I call Planet Black and White, and then I'm from Planet Color. So I visit black and white. And once I know King is a black and white person, I'm going to move in a black and white way so we can work better. I just know how to do that. But then I have to work with an artist that's not like you, who's going to show up at 9:30. And I have the capacity to manage that, because they actually need managing. That's a managing type of thing. So super visual type of thing. So no, you're right. I got fussed at that. Like I said, even that David Foster thing, I got fussed at because I was 2 days late turning in a song. I was 2 days late turning in a song to him because this particular famous artist pushed me back 2 days to get their vocal done. So I couldn't send it to him. David Foster hit me up. He says, Asa, 2 things. First of all, you are amazing. This sounds absolutely gorgeous. You really are special. He blew my head up. I'm smiling and everything. I was like, thank you. He said, second thing, I should never work with you ever again. I said, what? Like, that don't even mix. He says, you gave me a song 2 days late. He says, I don't turn in nothing late. Yeah. He says, I'm a billionaire because I'm not late.
Right.
And then he started taking me down the road. He said, why were you late? When I told him the artist made me late, he gave me some of the best advice. I use it to this day. He
share
said,
it with the people, man, because this new generation don't have these experiences.
Listen, he said, you let such and such, now this is a huge artist, you let such and such make you late. He says, the world don't even know what that version sound like with them on it.
Yeah.
He said, soon as you knew they were going to make you late, you should have just called me and told me. We would have got somebody else that can make us not be late. He said, and I was like, but this is the artist that's singing on this song. We gotta, it made sense to me. He's like, no. The world don't even know what that sounds like. So then he said, watch this. And then he hit Stevie up because Stevie Wonder was supposed to do a solo, harmonica solo on the song. He didn't have it ready. He says, his people said, well, he's going in Tuesday. And then David said, oh, you know what? Thank you. That's okay. I'm going to pass. I'll just catch him on the next one. I'm going to just put a violin on here. No worries. Thank you so much. And he hung up. He looked at me and said, I just sacrificed an icon's performance so I can be on time.
Absolutely.
He says, don't you ever let somebody make you. I mean, I had my working out with him. I learned that kind of stuff, right? So that's when I realized, especially in gospel music, we don't do that. We're not trying to be on time for nothing. But I will tell you, me being from Planet Color, there's more grace with me than it is maybe with you.
I say this. Because I'll say this. I've worked with John in more sessions than I have Lanisha, so he understands this. He's seen, like, I've had him in the studio with me and Ashley Simpson, right?
Okay.
Time for us, like, I understood, yes, I am a black and white person, but I do have grace in the sense of all right, let's get the energy. Let's because how do I say this without sounding egotistical or whatever?
Just say it.
Sitting in the room with Dr. Dre and Timbaland, like I got put out the studio one time.
Okay.
And I asked Tim, I said, "Say, man, what I do to him? You don't like this?" Dre was like, nah, you know, and this is when you gotta understand, man, I was on my whole rock star thing. I really went rock star for real.
We all had that deal.
You know what I mean? Nah, you didn't do
not that kind.
Yeah. I was
not that kind, but I'm just talking about the mentality.
Listen, Montez know, because I had him he was like, whoa, this is a lot going on in here. So I was on my real life, true life rock star. And I'm like, bro, what I do? Dre said, be careful who you have in the studio, because that energy can change that big record that you need. You dig what I'm saying? So I am real careful of the energy of who's in the studio, what's in the studio. John, remember the time I put the girl out the studio? You know what I'm saying? Like I literally turn around, point, you, get out. Get out the studio. Get out. Because I am real, again, I'm very matter of fact about the music and about just like that, for real. But can I? And I was like, gone on. We're not even doing that.
And I know you did it too, because the way you did that,
listen,
I know that.
Listen, I don't even play. Listen, because I got to be honest with you. I never dreamt that I would make it to the level that I was on.
Okay.
You dig what I'm saying? It was never a dream of mine. I'm from the hood. I'm from the real hood. Like I'm a project dude. Like I'm really like that. You know what I'm saying? I had to tell some people that we all know the other week. They was like, man, we thought you grew up in this part. No, I'm not from over. I was just over there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from that part of town. I was just over there. But I've definitely learned in this music business, using your vernacular, using your terms. Planet Color is a place you have to visit.
You have to visit
when you're not in your four walls of your black and white.
Yeah,
like I'm definitely a black and white person. Literally, like I got black and white furniture and curtains in my house. That's a real thing.
We have empirical data to prove the theory.
Visit. But I've seen you.
Watch this. I visit.
Oh, look at you.
I visit color.
Model
but we got merch coming that's going to be black and white.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's just, I think, if you're very straightforward with me, or very straightforward with anybody, they know how to come to you. I've had somebody, I told Alicia the story, I had a preacher guy actually ask me, King, how do you want people to come at you? I said, first off, the fact you got to ask me that question, bro, I don't think I'm going to be able to talk to you like that. Because if you got to figure out how to deal with me, because I like dealing with people straight on. It's, hey, man, this is what's going on. This is how we move, yada, 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 yada. Can you do it? If you can't, when the changes come, it definitely ruffles my feathers. Don't mean I don't know how to calm down and deal with what's going on. I do have some grace. I will visit Planet Color. Let's use Asaph.
That's the language I got to use.
Yeah, we're going to use that. I love it. I do know, because I get it, because I can explain the record to you more in color than I can in, just like terms.
You have to visit to do the stuff you do.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I totally get that, and I totally respect that. Now, I want to ask another question, because it's on the list, and I got to ask this question.
Okay.
What does it take to craft a Billboard-worthy song? Hold on. Let me put an addendum to that. In today's time, not back when you and I were those guys. You know what I'm saying?
What?
In today's time?
Yeah, in today's time. Yeah. What do you think?
First of all,
ego
and pride can't even be involved today. Because AI is creating things that the real creative can't even come up with. So because the rules change, because you got to listen to, first of all, streaming is very important, right?
Right.
Stream is very important. People, Spotify pays less money than Amazon. Amazon actually pays a little bit more money than Apple.
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. If you don't listen to a song for 30 seconds, it doesn't even count as a stream.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what ends up happening is you're now producing to catch somebody immediately and have them for at least 30 seconds, or you can't even, get a stream. So the curators and the playlists and everything, it's kind of like now you got to bump heads with the curators, with the playlist people, find out what's hot. You got to not mind, seeing what's out there. It depends on what genre you're doing. No matter what the genre is, you have to think residency now. You got to be done with your song. You got to be in the heart of it by 2 minutes. And it's just a different day now. And you got to make better decisions. I ain't gonna lie, King. So because different things music isn't as potent as it used to be.
True.
It just behooves a producer like me. I'm a producer. I can actually produce anything, as Dave Faustin said. That's because I don't mind hiring somebody that does something I don't do.
Absolutely.
So I think creating a hit, really, you got to move your pride out the way. You got to move your ego out the way, and you got to have the right people in the room. And it starts. Now, this hasn't changed, but it's more important now. It starts with the song. I don't care how great I can do something. If I'm producing a bad song, they just gonna love what I did, and that's it. It ain't gonna chart. It's not gonna do anything. And I've had that situation in my life a lot. Where I'm working on a song and I brought it to life, but then it's those songs that actually have legs that BMI recognized, the Doves, the Stellars, the Grammys. You have to be able to be flexible with styles of music and hip hop. Oh, that's another thing. You got to know a little bit. You got to learn. You got to have a little bit, probably 15% of hip hop in you, just to do any music now, because there's some elements that are linked to it that will be in a song, even though it's not a hip hop song. All of these genres are coming together. You can't be judging the genres. You have to understand that, just because I know how to play with all 10 of my fingers, this song only requires my right hand. It's that kind of thing.
So let me ask you something. You're what I call a purist.
Okay.
In my eyes, you're a purist, meaning, you're saying all the things that you said. Like I myself, I'm not a keyboard player, but I've produced great records. I know how to produce great records. I know how to sit in the room and say, okay, this needs to go here. I'm very intentional about certain sounds, and I'm very intentional about people I want to come and play extra stuff.
Yeah.
Like I play my chords that I play, and it's like, you know what? Let me call this dude because I like the feel of
absolutely
the feel of, that he play on keys on. So I have these things, right? Being a producer and a songwriter and a vocal producer, how do you feel about the emergence of AI in music?
Yo, man, I ain't gonna lie. Besides the legality of it, because I'm one of those dudes, I'll read the whole terms and conditions of an app. And you find out what you're signing away. But like Sono, for instance, it's crazy. It's demonic almost. I mean, I'm not going to say that's what it is.
Don't do that.
Well, listen.
Wizardry.
Listen here. It's evolving. Production is evolving. At the end of the day, anyone who's not using an AI with something, they're getting left behind anyway. Anyone who's
evolution is necessary. Evolving is necessary.
It's evolving. I don't feel no worse. I don't feel bad that, they be coming up with some joints. Even when I'm putting music behind a video that I'm talking, and I'll select lo-fi, this, the mood is going to be this and this. It be coming up with something way quick. I said, it's humbling. It's humbling. No, man, I'm totally okay with AI. Perfect. I personally think that if I ever use it to that degree, I'm going to listen to what it did, and I'm going to find a way to flip it and redo it.
Who does that sound like, y'all? Who does that sound like?
Yeah.
So
Alex,
listen, this is, you sound like what I said a few weeks ago. We were talking about AI. AI is just another tool in the toolbox for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because me being a singer first, if I have some vocals on the record, I can finish building around the record. Because sometimes I run into a wall, or sometimes I'm sitting here humming and mumbling, because that's how I write records. I start with a mumble track. You know what I'm saying? But I use it as a tool. And just because you said it, John, are we ready to play this?
Yeah.
This is a record. This is a record that he's getting ready to play something.
Okay.
I did all the music.
Okay.
Told AI, write me a song about this in an R&B style.
Okay, stop. So let me make sure I'm clear. You did a track.
Absolutely.
You fed the track in the AI, and then you told it to write a song within an R&B style. Okay.
And watch this. You don't have to tell it to write the song. You can actually write your own lyrics.
Okay.
And upload
then it'll,
it. And then you tell it. It'll play it for me, John. Listen, big homie. Listen to this.
Don't mess me up, man.
Welcome to Talking Tunes Radio, ladies and gentlemen.
Sun rising up like a golden crown. We laugh so hard we never frown. In your eyes, my world spins round. Good loving, lift me off the ground. Late night drives with the windows down. Screaming tunes in this old town. Your smile melts in walls I found. Good loving makes my heart resound.
Watch.
Good loving like a summer breeze blows right through, sets my soul at ease. Caught in this magic, never free. Good loving, bring me to my knees. Dancing under skies of violet.
All right, John. All right.
No, stop. Now, I get to ask the question.
You get to ask whatever you want to ask, Alex.
Get to ask the questions
ask
now.
your questions.
Yeah, ask the question.
How does this work, King? So, they are comfortable with just paying for the service. They don't require publishing for this.
No. Because
Hold on, stop.
Wait, listen, hear me out. Because the people who are doing music now, they're only wanting to curate their own playlists. They're using these things to create their own playlists, and that's how they're getting money. They know nothing of the publishing game like we do.
But I'm saying,
now
like this. Does that mean now, if you use that audio, what's the rules with that?
Right.
It's all me, because I paid for it.
Yep.
You paid for it with the app.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't use the audio.
I know
like
that,
I said,
but I'm
like
just
I
saying,
said, like I said, it's a tool for me. I created all this music, right? I put the song format together, the whole 9. It's just singing this song. So for me, I'll send it to Lanisha or send it to anybody else and be like, hey, sing this. We're gonna humanize this just a little bit more.
You have to explain. You have to put this in the prompt. You have to just ask the right thing. So let me ask you this. That's insane. First of all, that's just insane. So this is insane. So yeah, I feel like if you can't be okay with that, you're gonna get swallowed up the way music is going now.
What do you mean?
I feel like someone who feels like they can't do what you just did. I feel like eventually that person's going to get swallowed up because an AI thing, man, with the lyrics and putting things together and collaboration, it's just different. I mean, that was different.
Watch this. If I may, I'm going to share this. I did a record and Darius called me. He said, hey, let Lanisha get that song.
Do you have that record?
Do you have it, John? The Moonlight? See if you can find it.
I think I was asking.
You don't have it?
Good.
I can upload it. Give me a second.
All right. So I did this record. It's straight AI. Again, send it to Lanisha. Lanisha's creative enough to say, you know what? I love the top line of this. I love the melody. I love everything about this. Let me just change the words. That's how I'm using it. I don't
it's
want
a tool. It's a great
I don't want to take it away from, oh, let's just, there go AI and we're going to put it out. No,
Right.
these are, again, a tool. It's a tool to say, oh, I understand this record. Because you as a producer, you know this. I heard Swiss Beats say this. Swiss Beats says, as a producer, it's your job to sell the record. True story. Mark Pitts, we in Canada working with Usher. Mark Pitts come in the room, him and Usher come in the room. Mark say, King, by this time we got a couple of days in, so we count on his first name basis. King, bro, sell me this record. So what you mean? He says, sell me the record. Make me want to sing this record. Make me want to buy this record from you right now as it stands. I said, okay, so picture this. So I had to break it down to him. I had to go into a sense of storytelling or painting this picture of it's this, it's that. And he was like, got it. Then Sean Garrett got on there and wrote the song. And Usher was like, yo, this is crazy. It feels just like what you said, what you told us to see. You know what I'm saying? So I am good with in that way. So I like to still take AI. AI is simple enough to where I can take a minute of a song, upload it. It spits me this back out.
And there are some people that are not using it on the level of adding their creativity to.
Yeah, no, they're just going in telling, hey, write me a song about this, and push the button and it creates whatever it wants to create.
And that's
then they upload it to Spotify and have their own playlist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. I'm not trying to lose. And this brings me back to a space where I'm always in this middle, right? I feel like because I was born in the mid 70s, I'm always in this middle of the old school and the new school. Okay, hold on, Montez, you got it. Yeah. So turn it up. What? Listen to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in.
I hear the knock, dot.
All right, you can bring it down, Montez.
This is the remix.
Stop.
Jay, what you doing? Jay is over there like, bump y'all. I'm in the studio.
But so check it. So again, I am not, me personally, because I have this thing called adaptability. Can you adapt to what's going on? Because I don't want to be talking to my publisher the other day from Warner. They said, King, the fact that you're still relevant and you're your age.
This is true.
Why are you still relevant? Because I want to keep making money. I'm going to keep a G with you. I'm not the guy who do music for the love of music. If I'm doing a record, it's for some money. And and again, my mind was blown. I told the story before. Pulling up to Timberland's house and Timbo telling him he opened his big house with these tall, the French doors the size of the height of the house. Over me and King, welcome to my crib, bro. And you take me around your crib and you got all this from doing what I can do? Of course, you Timberland, and you've been doing it since you was 19, Jodeci and all these people. You know what I'm saying? But I have the ability to do this as well, and this is what I can have. So yeah, I really do it for money. So that's what I told my publisher. I do this for the love of money. And what? That's wrong. I'm sorry. You say it like that. Let me retract that statement.
You just play some soft music right now. Let him retract that.
I don't want to say for the love.
Come out that way.
I don't want to. No, not like that. But it's like, I do love what I'm doing. I do love creating music. It's for me.
If you could not make a dime anymore with music, would you still do music?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a different that's a different spin to me than money motivates you to do music.
Yeah, here's the thing. Money does motivate me to do it on a certain level. You dig what I'm saying? There's records that, like, I sit here every day, all day, and do music. That's what I do. You know, I made an amateur mistake the other day and then back up my drive and it crashed. But I'm in the middle of getting that rebuilt.
Yeah.
But I sit here and do music every day, all day. You know, just to have it, because I understand the fact that sometimes it takes a record 3 or 4 years to break. I understand it takes sometimes to take a record 2 or 3 years just to get placed. There's a record I did for Carrie Hilson called Slow Dance. That record was 2 years old when it came out. And then when it came out, it took off. Everybody was like, yo, this is new, this is fresh. It was like, no, it ain't. But I understand the behind the scenes of the music now. So me creating the music and having fun with music, in the beginning, I like playing with sonics. I like playing with plugins to turn another sound into a whole nother sound. You know what I'm saying? I love...
Yeah, like a scientist.
One of my favorite plugins. I don't know if you knew about it. It's called Sound Doctor.
Okay.
It's an AI plugin.
Okay, I haven't used it.
Listen, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's by Unison Technology. You push the button. You just push the button. But first you say, what is it? A drum? It's a melodies. What is it? And then you tell it if you want it aggressive, you want it clean, you want it whatever, and push the button. And it just spit out, what's the word? Processors. It spits out like there's a compressor here, there's a this. So it turns a lot of my sounds. And me being, again, I don't want to just consider myself a sample-based producer now, because you have things like plug-in like Ripcord that lets you play chords with one, you know what I'm saying? It lets you. So I don't want to just say that, because a lot of times I sit and I build the chords, then I start adding stuff in. Because, you know, most of it is sample based.
Yeah.
And I can change these samples to sound like that. Ray Hammond asked me, he said, King, how is it that you take all these samples and make it sound like this? I was like, bro, the difference between me and somebody like you, Alex, is I don't play keys like that, but I hear it in my head and I know how to get to the bottom line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I know how to, I didn't learn it, but the first person who ever gave me anything that has to do with music where I can learn my basic notes was OG Chuck Smith.
Oh, yeah.
That's my daddy.
I was at his house one time. That's Lane's daddy out. I was at his house one time. He was like, look at this. Here, take this. Or he told, it was something. And that's how I kind of learned A, B, C, D. With, you know what I mean? Because
I'm going to tell you this. If you ever feel like dating a keyboard,
okay.
I have a play any song in 90 days program I just created for people to have. And in 90 days, you can play anything.
Tell us more.
Yeah, we're listening.
No, I'm in piano lessons right now with my dad.
No. You can't just throw it out there.
So listen. So
fill the people in, man.
Come on,
Asaversity with my masterclass and everything, there is a education piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
I run into so many people who can't get King or me to put chords and music to the songs they write.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then there's people that actually got a piano at home, they got a keyboard at home, they just want to be able to play something during a holiday or just do anything. I created a 90-day program that if you spend 15 minutes a day, in 90 days, you're going to be able to play any song commercially that you want to play. I teach people from complete beginners, don't know nothing, to learn all of the chords that are essential in playing any of these songs today. And it's actually going to be in 69 days, like 70 days, but I put 90 just in case, because when people are testing at the end of one of my lessons, I tell them, because it's a video, I'm talking to you, I'm showing you everything, I'm teaching people about the notes, I'm teaching people why this is happening, I got exercises, and it's just for chords. It ain't about doing virtuoso stuff. It's just chords and the names of them and how to get them. And I show you from beginning to the end of how to get to it. In 90 days, you can play any song. But I say that to say,
where can
you get that? How do you find that?
Yeah, I was just about to say,
it's at my asaphward.com. If you go to asaphward.com, you can scroll down, because I got other products in there. I got my master classes. I'm about to do a producer master class in the studio, and that's going to be the first thing you're going to see. That's in December 6th and 7th. But I got a vocal training video curriculum in there, and I got to learn how to play in 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you pull that up, I made it affordable, because the two things that causes people to not do something is time and money. I get tired of people saying, I would do it, but I ain't got no money. We waste money all the time.
Yeah.
So I made it to where money's not excuse, and I made it to where timing is not excuse. If you got 15 minutes in your day, your lesson takes 15 minutes and then you're done for the day. And it's muscle memory and it learns. Anyway, so it's there. And it's for people like what you just said. Now, you don't have to do that because you figured out how to do it over these years.
Yeah.
But there are people who might want to learn how to play and don't know. They get that and they can do anything.
I did it before before the computer. I was doing it in the MPC. I was figuring out chords and sampling into the MPC.
You're a master at it. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a thing, man. I appreciate that.
That's fantastic.
But let me ask you real quick, since you saying I'm a master at it, right?
Okay.
Let's go back to something you were saying, not ego. You was talking about ego.
Mm-hmm.
We asked this question a couple of episodes ago. Do you think ego is necessary?
No, I think confidence is.
Explain.
But don't you think? I think ego and confidence is the same thing, right?
Well, look at it this way: your brain can process it that way,
mm-hmm.
and you're also a type of person that don't lean on the caution of jealousy, and you don't go around being tempted to want what someone else has.
Right.
Because you're wired that way, you could use that language, but I wouldn't want you telling another young musician that's necessary. Because what it is everyone can't handle certain words that are being used. They can't handle it. That's just what I've learned.
Okay.
Now, I have had I've never been jealous of anyone.
Right.
But I've experienced envy where I wish I created something, and like that beat you was doing with that bass line, holding it, that octave down. I said, man, I wish I would have came up with that. That it's an innocent envy.
Mm-hmm.
But what ends up happening is it can turn into something deceitful, because the truthful is we always want what somebody else have. Ego gets in the way because ego partners with its father, which is pride.
Mm-hmm.
Pride gets in the way of everything we do. It just gets in the way. Now, King, you are different. I can honestly say, from the years that I've known you,
mm-hmm.
you are confident. You're not perfect. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that you just don't feel in nothing. I'm saying you are confident in who you are or what you can do or not do. So words like pride, you know when you're being prideful. You admit it.
Absolutely.
You know when your ego's getting in the way of something.
Now, let me say, I don't feel like here's what, when I say ego, right? Again, maybe you have a different perspective of ego and pride, ego and confidence.
Okay.
There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. You dig what I'm saying? There's a fine line between it. And I think we all flirt with it, especially creatives. And like you said, there are some records that I would hear and I'd be like, man, I wish I chopped that sample up. But it is what it is. I didn't, so let's move on. You know what I mean? I am, my ego lets me be confident, if that makes sense.
Okay. I can see that with you.
You know what I'm saying? I walk in the room and say, hey, you know what? I wouldn't be here if I couldn't be here. You dig what I'm saying? So my ego say, yo, you wouldn't be here if you couldn't be here, bro. So be all right with being in the room. Like if I'm in the room, you, Fred, and whoever else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking around like, yo, these dudes, you know what I'm saying? they play like this, they do this, and the third. My ego slaps me in the face and say, hey, but you in the room too. You got called too. Your name is King Logan and you got this, da-da-da-da-da-da. You got this on. So my ego keeps me confident. I'm not prideful at all. You know what I'm saying? I don't like somebody who walks around, because I think when you prideful, you have this sense of entitlement that you feel like you just supposed to be, and you are, and this, you know what I mean? That's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there's no way to really unpack this the right way, and it would take a whole show, but I'm going to say some words and some language is the Lex Luthor to Superman.
Okay.
And when I say that, I'm saying when you talk about ego, ego is something that Lex Luthor will leverage.
Okay.
Confidence is what Superman will leverage. Though they the same thing, or they get to the same outcome, one has more of it can really go bad more with ego, not with you.
No, I get it.
I've been in rooms where a guy, he feels like he should be playing this song instead of this other person. And
Absolutely.
then his ego, because he wasn't selected to do it, his ego now makes a real judgment that a mistake was made. And then that doesn't mean a mistake was made. It just means that you didn't end up playing this song. So I wouldn't want that person thinking ego is good, it'll help them. Ego's great for you. I just think certain words are different for different people.
Okay, so let me say it like this then. To me, ego is like a fire. Ego is definitely like a fire, but you have to have some type of, you have to be able to control it. It's like, I like movies. It was like the Marvel movie when Cyclops would take his glasses off. Before he knew how to control his laser sight, he would just burn up and blow up everything.
Yeah.
So he had to put these goggles on to help him control it. You know what I mean? I feel like ego is necessary, but you have to. It is imperative that you control it, because again, it could go bad. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you this. Ego is always present.
Yes.
For me, I don't like to use the word necessary, mainly because I don't know a person that doesn't have ego. When I have ego. When I was doing the Everlasting Life record, I was only supposed to do 2 songs.
How many did you do? How many did you do?
I demoed 10.
Jesus.
So they can choose. My ego said, I'm going to do 10 songs. They certainly are going to pick 2 of them, because they had all these other producers lined up for it. So I'm like, if I just give them 2 songs, they might only like 1 or might not like
none. Is
none.
that ego or is that confidence? Or does your ego say, hey, let's push this envelope and we're going to do 10?
Ego, I'm going to say ego.
Okay.
I was confident while doing it.
Okay,
but I'm going to say ego because I heard the math. After you name 5 or 6 other producers, and these are big name producers, and they said, Asaph, we want you to do 2 songs. I know that can end up being Asaph not doing any songs. So my ego said, nah, I ain't worried about them. Like, I'm not about to be fighting and competing. But what I told myself is, I'm not about to let myself get pushed out after I'd have left. This is the record right after I left secular. So I'm like, this got to work. So I cut 10 songs, demoed 10.
Right.
Y'all gonna pick 2 songs out of these 10.
For sure.
No doubt.
For sure.
My ego helped me do that, right?
Okay.
So then what ended up happening is, me and Kim sitting like this, like, what y'all think? What y'all think? Which 2 y'all like? They didn't even know what they was listening to. They was like, they was looking at each other like, how do we market this? This is the conversations they have in the back. So how do we market this? So how do we package this? Do we, what is this? I don't know, dude. But I like it though. But we can't, there's no record like this. So I don't know how to compare it. So all of this is happening in the back.
Why did he sound like some people in the back for real?
Listen.
So guess what they said next? They looked at each other and they said, finish all 10 of these.
Say less.
That's how I did the whole album.
Yeah.
Those are the songs I demoed.
Which is one of the greatest albums I've ever heard.
Now, the problem with that is I didn't know that they was going to not call the other producers and tell them that they decided to have me do the whole album.
Man, that ain't your problem.
So, but it became a problem.
But he didn't.
Because
not your problem, though.
It became my problem because for the next 2 years, each and every one pretty much kind of had it out there to where when I was working on other projects, they cut me out of those projects.
Yeah.
I went 2 years not eating on projects. I got canceled after canceled, after canceled after canceled.
Check. See, this is,
they thought
I
canceled them.
Again, y'all remember me saying, Lane and John, y'all remember me saying what Bishop Dumb Magic One said, what makes a hater a hater? Mm-hmm. You didn't apply yourself. I'll use this for me. But Lane, I don't know if you remember. You remember the Emotions thing that Bishop Jakes did back in the day?
I do remember that.
Do you remember the song that I did?
Was it with the girls?
No. I don't want to say the names of the artists.
Okay, don't say the name.
Because, I don't want to say the name of the artist. Well, what happened was this. I got invited to come to the session. I was just at the session. Nobody knew who I was. Just before I got on, nobody knew I'm still down in the dungeon. You know what I'm saying? I ain't know the dungeon. Dungeon was a hot in the summer, musty.
It was a dungeon, Alex.
It was a dungeon. It was cold and freezing in the winter. It was a real dungeon. Like that's what we grind. That's what we honed our skills at. And so what happened was the engineer of the session says, "Hey, Bishop, can I give him these vocals? And you can see what he does." Yeah, sure. All right, cool. I take it to the crib, do my thing, send it back to the engineer. Bishop Jakes hears it. Everybody hears it. Go crazy. Oh my God, yes. Wanted to replace the original, but the person who produced and wrote the song originally, the two people that did it, to my, who are these nobodies you got producing my records? And I was, and you know, again, I don't play like that. I'm not no church dude you're going to sit here and just take. Who you talking to? That's my response. You know what I'm saying? But everybody, Lane too, is, no, bro, just chill, bro. Don't even worry about it. Just chill. And I'm ready to get these boys all that work. Like, man, y'all boys, I here calling somebody a nobody. And again, in that arena, I was a nobody, per se. My ego says, yeah, I can do this record, which made me confident enough to say, to send the record. All I'm saying is,
I get that.
Those people who canceled you, bums, losers.
It was mainly the labels, but see, it was the producers that were also working on songs on the same label, and they say, "Oh, if he's going to be doing it, I'm not doing it."
See, that's bum activity right there.
It happened for 2 years, yo. So that's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's insane.
So I developed. What'd you say, John?
No, I was going to ask you, like, if you could do that all over again with everything that happened, would you do it over again?
Man, absolutely. But there's one difference, though. I personally, myself, I'm going to call everybody and tell them I'm doing the record now. Because I'm going to tell you what happened is...
You don't think they'll still feel away?
Well, let me tell you something. In their defense, they reacted wrong. But in their defense, they were told also that Asaph convinced Kim not to use any of them.
Yeah. There's a manipulation.
So they don't know me. They believe in what they heard, and then they just went for it. And the truth is, the record did what it did, you know.
Because it was a great record.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I got a chip on after that. I didn't let nobody talk crazy to me after that. Listen, when I was working with David with Mary J. Blige, listen, I'm going to tell you, her husband, she ain't married him no more.
Yeah.
But Kendu,
yeah.
I don't know if you know him.
Yeah.
Kendu came in the studio. David's enjoying what I'm doing. Mary's enjoying it. Everybody like, Kendu come in. He's like, what's this Joker doing here for?
Man, that nigga had too much say so. He had too much say so. I'm sorry.
Like, what's he doing? What's he doing? He said, man, this guy ain't doing nothing special. I don't hear nothing special.
Oh.
He said, where's the tooth fairy? Somebody got to tell me why he's here. He's saying all this crazy stuff. I don't know him, right? I said, wait a minute. I said, dude, are you crazy? I started going off on him. So me and him was fussing, screaming at each other. Let me tell you, then Mary jumps in. I'm going to tell you how David shuts the room down. David don't even scream at nobody.
Right.
He says, hey, everybody. Everybody shut up. He said, question. And he was fixing his nails. He says, how old were you guys when I got my first Grammy in 73? How old were you guys? And then we all had to go one by one saying how old we were. Of course, I was 1. You know, Mary said she was 3. Kendu said he was 5. He said, don't you ever question who I have in this room ever again. I mean, he rimmed. I'll never forget that experience. That thing was so crazy.
I love that. Now, Lanisha, now that's flex. Now that is a flex.
They get mad at me for using the term flex, but that was an absolute flex.
That's a boss flex right there, boy. I love
how
that.
he did that.
Yes.
That's great.
It shut everything down. It wasn't even a conversation, but we're talking about a guy who's done over 350 million CDs.
Right.
Let me tell you something, King. I got to tell you this. In his house, and it's just crazy. There was everybody that has a mansion, you know, there's a movie theater, right?
Absolutely.
Well, he has a movie theater in his house, but he has a full-fledged, same size as the regular place's concession stand. So I was wondering why, and it was a little black girl down there. She had on a uniform and everything. She was making popcorn and everything. So I was like, oh, so somebody rents out your spot? Like, you got a movie theater? He says, no, it's my movie theater. And I was like, yeah. I said, but she's making popcorn. He's like, yeah. He says,
she's hired to make popcorn
at the movies?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, but I mean, yeah. He said, I said, when was the last time y'all went to the movies? He looked around. He said, what was it, last month? It was like last month. I said, but she's in here making. He said, yeah, just in case we want to go to the movies. And I was like, I was cracking up because I said, she comes, that's her job.
Yeah.
Every day. And he don't ever go to the movies.
Absolutely.
Now, that was flex. I said, okay, the money, whatever money we all talking about, that's a different kind of money.
Absolutely.
What he was doing.
He
had a girl behind the concession stand in his house.
Listen, that was my experience with Timberland on the level.
Some candy and pop.
Of like, it wasn't, this was before streaming was even a thing.
Okay.
I'm in he has his movie theater in his house. Of course, like you said, every mansion has a movie theater.
Yeah.
He has his theater in his house. And he was like, King, you can watch whatever you want to watch. I said, what you mean? Oh, it was some movies just came out. Oh, you want to watch that? Yeah, hold on. He grabbed the big remote used to be like this. He grabbed a big remote.
That's right.
All right, give it like an hour. It's got to download. I said, wait, you get movies downloaded directly to your house? He was like, yeah. I get movies downloaded direct to my house. So I understand the whole movie theater, like
movie theater magic.
My first time experiencing somebody else other than my mama washing my clothes.
Oh,
we go to the studio, come back, my clothes is washed, folded, and put on the bed. And I saw this. I was like, what's she doing here? Oh, she come here every day just to wash clothes and clean the house.
Yeah, it's a different type of.
It's a different level of money.
It's a total different level of money.
Yes.
So I get it. See, my ego doesn't say I gotta have that.
Right.
My ego says that whatever this costs, I do want that. But I'm gonna put it towards something else. But they do the stuff they do with their money. We even had a meeting. He called a meeting with me and Mary. We went into this room and it was freezing. And she was like, it's cold. Can we turn the temperature down? He said, we're just going to be in here for a minute. Nice size room. Kind of like the size of a living room, just a regular size. And it was just cold. And then he's like, anybody thirsty? And I'm like, no. And he grabbed some pop out of the corner. And I was like, hey, I said, yeah, it's cold in here. So we drinking soda. And we had our meeting. We came out, this glass room. And then she's like, why did we meet in there? She said, because I ain't got no cameras and stuff. I didn't want nobody hearing what we got to say. And that was his refrigerator we was in there meeting at.
His room, y'all was meeting in the refrigerator.
We was meeting in his refrigerator.
Which looked like a room, a living room.
That's why the pop was in there and other stuff on the shelf. I was like,
Wow.
We're in your refrigerator.
Wow.
That's how big it was.
Listen, that's why I tell you. I tell people all the time, bro. That's a different level.
Yeah, it's a different.
But let me ask you this question before we get out of here.
Okay.
Lane, take us out of here.
Go ahead.
What do you have to say about your influence? The influence you've had on this industry, be it gospel, secular, what? Because you've definitely had influence. How do you feel about that influence?
Well, it feels great. Let me tell you why.
Okay. When
I meet someone who says I changed, when they want to say I changed their life, or they put that man, you changed everything for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you what, it's crazy because they'll say, man, first time I heard you, man, I was 7. First time I heard you, man, I was 11. Man, first thing, and because they're doing it music heavy now. It's like, man, I heard you when I was a teenager. It's like, to be able to help inspire and impact people, I had no idea I was going to be that guy.
Yeah,
that inspires people.
Let me say this before you finish. I'm gonna say this before you finish. You that guy. I used to smoke weed and listen to that Everlasting Life album. Go ahead. I did. I mean, for real. I'm like, yo, this is amazing.
Where it's like,
because it was. I can't even imagine what that even sounds like. I've had different people. Listen, people from Earth, Wind, and Fire and Chaka Khan, of course, Whitney and them, and Beyonce, and everybody was just loving that record.
Yeah, man.
And it was like, Prince invited us over his house. I didn't go because I was just afraid something was going to happen. But I just didn't go. But the record impacted everybody. So over the years, just all the other albums I worked on, I'm just happy that I was able to inspire other people. And then, like you said, I'm still relevant. Now, this Song Evasive album, you're going to laugh.
Tell us.
And I'm asking you, you don't have to smoke any weed to listen to it.
Okay.
It's that potent. You're going to feel like you are when you're listening to it. Don't potent. Even have to respond.
It was
just a joke.
The term potent just told me something.
It really connected with that, Alex. I just want you to know.
Yeah, it's very potent. But
I can't wait to
I'm
hear
excited
that,
about the impact. I will say this, and I want to say this, just so you know where I'm at. Mm-hmm. I'm not a judgmental person. Mm-hmm. I'm in a place in my life now where I am interested in something. Mm-hmm. I'm interested in drawing the line. Mm-hmm. It's important that everybody knows, not like in a protesting type way, but it's important that people know that my journey, I don't regret anything in my journey. I don't regret my secular days. I don't regret working, I got invited to darkness. I got invited, like, here's the keys. And I did say yes.
Right.
And then right before I can move and do it, they kind of insinuated that I couldn't also go to church. And then I was like, well, no, I got to go to church and they're like, oh, no, Asaph, you can't be with them animals. It's exactly what came out of their mouth. I'm on a top level. I can't say names, but at a top level, it was like, Asaph, no. You can't be with them animals. I said, what? I said, I can't leave God. I was about to go into high 6 figures. So it was like really about to be an exciting time for me. But because I said, I can't leave God. The next thing that came out of their mouth was, well, man, I wish you the best of luck. You're amazing. And I think you're going to do great in this world. And I'm going to move on. They cut me off. And it was because my yes turned into a no. Darkness can't make you, like you said, do anything. You got to say yes. It's something that you got to agree to want to do and do. Yeah. And I'm at a place now where, and I hate to say this because you're going to feel like I opened up a can of worms, but I'm going to say,
go ahead.
I can't speak for no one else.
Yeah.
But I am drawing the line for me. I can't mix the profane with the sacred.
Hold on. Don't mean to cut you off. Hold on, because it's too. Listen, hold on, y'all. Remember the second episode last week? Remember the episode
We've had
from Friday?
A lot of conversations.
The episode from Friday. Check it out. So you said they told you no. They being quote unquote the dark side. I got told no.
By the church people. Yeah. They told me I was going to hell. King, you're going to hell for doing secular music. That's just what it is.
and then turn around and they themselves are mixing
with the profane. It's not fair. That's why I told you, I don't judge, because I really do believe everyone has to ask God and ask the Holy Spirit where they should be, where they shouldn't be. I know where I'm not supposed to. I'm at a place in my life now where I can't do it. I can't mix the profane with the sacred. I don't mind doing a joint that might be hot and even lyrically tells a story that's not churchy, you know? But I'm not going to allow a profane person to be attached to what I'm doing. I can't do that anymore. So I'm drawing the line, and everyone knows it. I mean, they might see my posts and they think, man, Asaph, man, he going deep with it. No, this is just where I'm at right now. Yeah. At this point, the kingdom of God, the world got the beat makers, like they're doing everything out there. I just feel like the kingdom of God should have strong skill sets in the music industry as well. And I feel like we lose them because of the churches not being wise. They're discouraging and pushing people away. And then at the same time, the world is taking them away. And I just feel like everyone needs to be responsible enough to ask God what is for them and what's not for them, and not allow anything to derail them from the relationship with them. And it's true. I've been some dark places, and I'm so glad I can honestly say I survived it. And it's like, I ain't never been to no Diddy party, thank the Lord. But I remember when Diddy was first, he was doing tracks just like I was back when I was in New York.
Absolutely.
You know, he wasn't that far, whatever. He was doing tracks just like I was.
But see, even at the Diddy party, you just got to know when to leave. And like you said earlier, because I've been to two. We not going. I've been to two.
Lord, we ask you right now.
No. Hold on. No, I'm good. Listen, I'm good.
Go ahead.
I'm good. I'm good. Because here's the thing. Again, like I said earlier, peer pressure's never been a thing of mine. If I ain't with it, I ain't with it. I ain't one of the dudes that low key trying to. All that other stuff they was doing, that was on them. I can have my own party at the crib.
Question. If Diddy wasn't in trouble right now, even the King today, would the King today go to a Diddy party?
Yep.
What would be your reason for going?
Real talk, because my experience with Diddy wasn't what everybody said they experienced. It's been a cool situation. It was just cool. Like, it was me and son, we rolling around New York together, just kicking it. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I'm just saying, what is the conversion for that? Like, for instance, I don't think anything will happen to me in a lot of different environments because of how I am. My question to me is, why would I go to some of these places that I used to go? What would be the conversion for you to be at a Diddy party? Is there a conversion, or is it just because you're cool with them or whatever?
No, I don't want to convert. First off, clarify conversion, then I can answer.
Well, conversion is, I know when I go to Lanesia's house, we're going to have fun. We're going to communicate. We're going to catch up on things, and we're going to have some good food.
Amen.
So
Absolutely.
you already know what that's like. So that's the conversion for me. But if it's going to be messy people, I'm just saying, if something was happening at our house that's just not good for me to be around, then I'm asking myself, what is my conversion? Is the food that good? Maybe. You know, I still got to go. So I'm just saying, we go to places and do and allow certain things for reasons. I was just wondering. Okay,
for me, I know I'm secure within myself. I'm secure with my the relationship, although it may not be as heavy and deep as some of y'all's. My relationship I do have with God, I'm secure with that. You dig what I'm saying? I know how to walk in the room and kick it and have a good time and then still be like, yo, I'm out of here. I know I'm covered when I walk in the room. I don't feel, oh man, I need to be careful, because if you go in that room, the big back monster gonna jump on you.
So that's an off the record conversation. I would love to sit down and just really find out kind of how deep that is for you. Because my thing is, I do honestly, in my heart of hearts, believe there are some places God does not want us at.
But I agree with you, but I also believe, because just based off I heard this preacher say the other week where she got me, while she was preaching, she said, everybody, and I for some reason it resonated with me. She said, everybody's not made for the kingdom. Some people are supposed to be in the marketplace. They are supposed to be.
No, I agree, because I'm in there.
Because watch, me and Timberland. Let's use me and Timbo. Tim, we would do sessions in studio getting ready. I'm ready to go. It's 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, cuz we've been here all night. I'm ready to go. I'd be like, bro, I'm finna go, bro. He'd be like, no, hold on. But when Tim was telling me to hold on, me and Tim sitting in the studio, we just talking about God. We talking about church. We talking about basic, like, really God stuff. And I actually spoke to somebody, like you said, wise counsel one time. And I said, man, why do you think that is? Dude said, bro, you meant to be there. That's why you do have the confidence that you have, the boldness that you do have. You're meant to be there. Nobody, I'm going to tell you, Asaph, I ain't scared of nothing. And
of
nobody.
Course you're not.
You know what I'm saying? Because I done did it all. That's why
I believe in what you just said to me. I believe in what you just said to me, like the Timberland moments and all that. I've had those moments. I'm saying some places we go, it is definitely 100% intended not to be doing anything for God there. It's just 100%. There's nothing to do for God there.
Well, here's the thing.
Some places and some things.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I don't walk around saying, oh, well, I'm here to do something for God. I just walk around, and if it comes up, I'm going to stand on what I stand on. Bro, I believe in God, bro. Y'all go ahead and keep all that. That ain't my thing, cuz. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time, because I am who I am and I move how I move, people be like, all right, King, respect, dog. Respect.
No, I got you.
You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm using it as an example.
No,
just
I get
to
it.
say that for me, I am at a place now, just me, I'm drawing the line on how I move now.
Gotcha. Understood.
I'm moving, and it's for me. It's how I'm moving.
Right.
I don't think somebody else has to move. I'm always curious about how somebody else is thinking or how they're moving. But when I got invited to that side, when I got invited, it was a literal invitation. It was literal. It was so dark. I can't even talk about what was there. I don't play with darkness. I just don't. So because of that, I'm just drawing the line now because I'm seeing a whole lot more of the sacred and the profane. And I'm somebody that don't believe that should be happening.
I agree
That's
with
just me personally. I ain't talking about your thing. Your thing is not related to that. I'm talking
what you say,
about,
Montez?
Yeah, go ahead, Montez.
Sorry, Alan.
What do you think is going to be the outcome of that, of mixing the profane with the sacred? What do you think the outcome is going to be?
I think the outcome is going to be something as simple as someone who is really corrupting someone's mind now has access to sacred that they wouldn't have access to if that sacred person wasn't involving them. It's something as simple as, my audience might never listen to this person over here and all the negative and bad stuff that they're saying. But because I chose to partner and collaborate with this person, now my world and my people are going to follow me over there. And they're going to be now exposed to stuff that they don't need to be exposed to. And I took them there.
Listen, we could keep going because I
know we got to go.
But I want to say this, though. You saying mixing the sacred and the dark. Y'all hear me out.
The profane and
the profane. The sacred and the profane. And again, I don't agree with fully what's going on in the music business. Some people that's doing, but sometimes when I was younger, I had a preacher because when I tell you I've been getting told this my whole life, my whole entire life. I had a preacher tell me one time. He said, "Listen, the devil is attacking you because just like you reckless in the world, you'll be reckless for the kingdom." I believe that because I'm still that animal. I'm still that animal, but I believe in God. I told somebody just Friday night, one of the homies, he was like, "Bro, what, you look different." I said, "Bro, I believe in God, my nigga. That's just what it is, homie. That's just what it is. That's where I'm standing. Y'all can do what you want to do. But don't you believe, like, in the presence of light, darkness cease? Is your light bright enough, or is your light strong enough? Is your light strong enough to walk in those rooms? Because for me, first off, naturally, I'm not scared. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You're coming from a different point of view, though, of you walking in the room. I'm a prophet. I'm a prophetic person.
Okay.
I'm actually an elder. I'm a minister. I am different. I'm saying that I am something that I have to look at things a little different than other people may have to look at. I don't believe that you have to do what I am doing. I'm the light. I meet witches and warlocks all the time in the informational business space, because with the public speaking and all of that webinar stuff and everything, I don't run from rooms. All I'm just saying is I draw the line when I'm in those rooms, because what happens is I know a lot of people right now that can't get what's her name song out of their head. And she's a masterpiece. Victoria Monet, what's her name?
Victoria Monet.
She's got a smash. Now, the thing is, that's not something I think everyone can handle listening to.
But who are you to say that?
No, let me tell you why.
Okay.
Let me tell you why. Because when people come to me and they are like depressed, they have perverted spirits, they can't stop thinking of sex, they can't stop allowing their flesh, and they're coming for, this is people I personally develop that I have to have therapy sessions with. These people are, and then when you talk to them, you'll find out, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm listening to this, I'm listening to this. There's certain music that makes people do things that they shouldn't be doing. Music, we know that it can make us do great, good, bad, and ugly.
Yeah.
It makes us music just has a thing on it. Music moves the world. So all I'm saying is, I'm not even talking about, we know the church got some devils in it, period. In gospel music itself.
Yes, Lord.
It's just, so that's why I said it's not so much of a judgment. It's more of everyone needs to evaluate why they where they are. You just told me why you go. And that makes sense. But you saying you do that, someone looking, I'm not saying you shouldn't say it, but someone who looks up to you, who don't have your backbone about everything, like, yo, man, my man, he go, I'm gonna go. I got guys that are jacked up right now. They got witchcraft on them right now because they playing with an artist that do spells, and they praying spells. They doing witchcraft in the back. I got some guys right now that are messed up right now. 2 of them got bad families right now because they're playing for artists that are into witchcraft, that's doing spells on stage.
They got bad families because they got bad. Or do they have bad families because that person is doing witchcraft, or do they have bad families because he's cheating on his wife and beating on his wife, cussing his wife out?
That's probably the outcome of it. But what's happening is they are.
We're gonna blame that on. But we're gonna blame that on witchcraft, though. It's people that we know in church do the same thing.
It's not a blame. What I'm telling you is, if you're going to participate with anybody who's doing witchcraft, then you're going to have to be prepared for everything that goes along with that. That's all I'm saying. If that means going home and beating her up, if that means cheating on her and everything else, it's that evil that's attached to that thing that you putting yourself into. And I'm telling you, I got tons of people and tons of names that can't handle at all. And I'm against that. The Bible says that the devil comes as an angel of light. So the Bible says that. So sometimes it looks like it's light and it's dark. Everyone has to be able to discern on their own. I'm just drawing a line. I've seen some things. I've been around some things. And what I'm doing now is I study a lot more to just understand. The answer is not to send somebody to hell. The answer ain't to say, yo, man, you are wrong. You do. What I'm trying to do is be available to help people who gets lost in the sauce like that. I got guys signing NDAs. They can't even tell that they was at a ritual party. They can't talk about it because they signed the NDA.
Because they went. They shouldn't have went. Goofy.
Well, they signed the NDA and they're going to go. I hear you. You're being black and white, but there's some middle to this stuff. You can't just be black and white. There's some middle that these guys need that they're having a hard time dealing with. They're crying. They love their families.
So I hear you, right? But I believe in 2 things. You got your principles and you got your preferences. Your preferences, just like in your computer. You can change your preferences in your computer. You can change your preferences in your phone, whatever. But your principles, you stand on straight up and down. It ain't no, my dad, listen, let me say this, Alex. Lanisha, she know this for sure. I'm a product of a pimp and a hoe.
Oh, yes.
I'm saying it for shock value purposes. My dad was a real life pimp. My mom was one of his prostitutes. I come from that. I'm from that other side of the tracks for real. Ain't no play with it. I'm really from that. So walking in these rooms, I walk in strong. And like you said, if some people look up to me and be like, well, he do it. I'm like, say, bro, you ain't ready for that. You can't handle that. sit down somewhere, man. You ain't even cut like that.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying? But to anyway, let me stop.
What you got to do is you got to have autonomy.
We got to stop because we got to stop.
No, I want to hear him finish his thought.
No, I want to finish his statement. I'm just saying after this. No, finish your statement for sure.
I just want to be clear that I'm talking about autonomy. I'm talking about us taking how we personally feel and think about something,
right,
and moving it to the side. I'm saying I can't tell you shouldn't be doing something.
Right.
I am saying that I am drawing the line because people need to know. I'm not going to get on video and make the devil signs. I'm not going about to get up and start doing all this stuff so everybody can know what side I'm on. I am letting them know I am on God's side. And it's a thing where I can't tell somebody what their side looks like. Right. But I'm telling you, man, I'm counseling guys now that are jacked up because they're out there and they're not King Logan. Whatever King Logan can do, you from the other side of the tracks.
Yeah, I'm really
from the other side of the tracks. And the best thing to do is I just keep the word of God
sandbox they can play in there. They got to pick what sandbox they can play in. They got to be wise enough to say, and man enough and mature enough to say, you know what? And self-aware enough to say, I personally can't deal with that. Me personally, if I walk in a room and it's like 30 butt-naked women, I'm going to walk back out because it's going down for me.
But guess what? You just telling me, I'm just telling you, because of the black and white nature, you can't help any of them because you don't have no middle for them. You shouldn't do it. Or you should do it. But I get it. My job is
but you shouldn't though, because that's why you're over there crying.
King.
I know, but what I'm saying is that's why I am a person that has to deal with the middle so I can help people get out of that.
Understood.
Or try to help them see it. And then they'll end up where you at. Yeah, King been telling me that. See, you like to go to solutions. And that's what most black and white people do. And that's a good thing. But what about a person who's stuck in the middle? They got to hear something to help them, that key that'll help them start their journey. I'm just saying that's where I'm devoted to helping other creatives get to. That's all I'm saying.
That was great. I listen. Because again, the reason, and I'm biting my tongue.
I told you we got to sit down and talk.
I'm biting my tongue right now because I know we got to get out of here. Yeah, I know we got to get out of here. You said what?
I said, why are you biting your tongue?
I know.
No.
Because this conversation can keep going. I never do.
Thank you,
but
Jay.
I'm trying to be
Yeah, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? The conversation can keep going because I don't see the music business in that light. I do know there's a dark underworld. This is what I do know. But me personally, I'm telling my story. I don't mind being vulnerable with this. I was literally conceived in toxicity. My mama cut my daddy's throat in 71. I didn't come to 75. So I was literally conceived in toxicity. So me walking around these darkening, I had somebody ask me one time, dude, and this is a real question, dude. He said, bro, how can you walk around snakes and they don't bite you? He said, you walk in the room knowing these people do not like you and you still handle yourself in a certain way. And these people can't, they just bow down. I said, bro, because I walk in confident in who I am. My light, whatever light that is that God has given me, that boldness that God has given me, because it's only, I can say it's from the streets, but I do believe in the spiritual realm as well.
Of course.
You dig what I'm saying? So that boldness that God has given me, I can walk around. Man, I'm not scared of you. Boy, you gonna do what? Oh, that's a witch. Hey, how you doing, shawty? You good over there? All right, cool. Stay over there. I don't fool with it. These people you talking about who they playing for people who doing seances and witchcraft and you stupid. You can handle that, goofy. Why
most of folks are at the concerts that don't even know what's happening, man. All I'm telling you, you not in that. You don't have to do it.
We're gonna stop.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we have to.
Because here's what I'm saying. How do I say this? What's the guy name? What's that preacher guy name who think everybody's a witch and everybody's a warlock and everything is bad and it's not all that.
Well, you don't have to black and white it. It is out there.
It's out there for sure.
Who's doing it?
Now we do know that
pastors, but not right now that's doing it.
Okay, then let's talk about that then.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we can't put it all on the dark side. It's the people they standing.
You're missing.
They standing in the pulpit preaching the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. There's only two sides. It's either the kingdom of darkness or the kingdom of God. That's it. And you can be in the church and be on either side. So I'm not saying that it doesn't exist everywhere. I'm telling you what side I am on officially.
Where do you stand?
Only for the past 2 or 3 years, I've been able to do that. But I'm going to say this, King, and I'm going to walk off of here.
No. But if we got to shut down, hold on. You can't just walk off. We got to shut down.
No. I'm going to say this because it's going to provoke you to think, and you're going to want to respond, and you don't have time.
And I'm going to respond.
I am going to say this. Every one of us on here, from John to Lane to you, and I got here. And let me be honest with you. I just got here a couple of years ago. Okay? All I know is there's 2 versions right now of all of us.
Okay.
There's the version that you are right now. Then there's a version that God can fully 100% use for what he wants. And all I'm saying is most of us, if not all of us, aren't walking in what God truly can use us for. And all I'm saying is King Logan that was on that other side of the streets, the other side of the tracks, that demons are afraid of, actually. The day that whatever your calling thing just blows up out of the world and the Lord just blows on you and you are just boom, that's a king that you're going to have to teach everybody, because that king is very dangerous. Just like this Asaph right now is. This Asaph before was cool. He inspired people. But this one right now, he's changing lives. And I'm not saying you not. I'm saying there's a king, the version of you where God is fully using you to slay demons. And I don't mean in church.
Right.
I'm talking about when you walk, I'm just telling you, there's 2 versions of all of us.
Gotcha.
And I can't wait to see what that other one could look like, since you've been birthed out of toxicity.
You absolutely right. It makes me want to say something, but I ain't. Listen, I ain't. It definitely, because again, I have a rebuttal, because
of course I know that. I mean, it's fair to be fair.
Watch this. Me and Montez and Lane, we've had these particular conversations. Not in this depth, but it's a because everybody experience and walk with Christ is different. Everybody experience and walk with God is different. I choose to just stand on what I believe, no more, no less. I had somebody the other week tell me, King, I'm glad God is doing something for you, but you have a lot of terrible ways. And Chili wanted to say, see, Asaph, you don't know who Chili is.
We're not going to.
You don't know who that is. That's a whole
list. We're not going to do Chili.
Chili wanted to cuss him out and be like, bro, go to hell, my guy. I know.
You kind of told him that in your mind. You just didn't tell him out in your mind.
He might have told him.
Listen, if the call happens any day, I will tell him, like, bro, that was wrong. You was messed up for doing that. Don't step to me that way, because I know some of your dark secrets, Playboy. You dig what I'm saying? But I'm not. I'm not that way. I just think telling people that they're, and I'm just using me, they're going to hell. Or telling people, and I understand. Well, let me not talk about that. I appreciate what you just said, because I'm go ahead and bring us to a close. I'm gonna let Lane take us home. I appreciate what you said, because I do know there's another level of me.
Another level, yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? There's another level of me.
We all have that.
I just believe, because in my past few years of church, being in church consistently, I said this before online. I've said it. It's been some of the worst experiences of my life. I've never experienced so much narcissism, so much backbiting, so much lying, so much cheating in my entire life. And I'm from the streets. You dig what I'm saying? Like, y'all ain't got no character, no integrity. You sleeping with that dude's wife. And it's just, and so for me, church, I said this Friday to one of the homies as a pastor. Church is something that I have to still wrap my head around. But God is in my heart, brother. I stand on that. I know the difference between right and wrong, because when my mama got saved, she got saved. You understand me? Like, I know the difference between right and wrong. So what I ain't gonna do is act like, oh, I'm this, and you know what I mean? Yeah, some stuff I still got to work out. You got to work out your own soul salvation.
Absolutely.
You dig what I'm saying? But anyway, we can keep this going. Lane, take us home. Go home.
This was fun.
Let's take us home.
Ooh.
We got to have a part 2 where we just talk about this type of stuff.
Yes,
of course. This is deep.
This is good. I like this.
Go ahead, Lane. I know
you were yawning. She thought we didn't know what she was doing.
I'm not yawning. I'm just enjoying this conversation. So let's put a marker on this, and this is definitely a to be continued situation.
Yes, Lord.
But before we go, Alex, remind us of the name of the project that you're working on.
It's my solo album. Yeah. It's the Psalms of Asaph, and it's going to be stuff that you're never going to hear done nowhere else. So you're going to have to come there. I plan to release it by the beginning of the year. Your dad just sent me an email of his files. So that's going to be cool. I got tons. If I listed everybody that's on this record, y'all going to be like, what?
Is there any that you're willing to share, or you can share, or do we need to wait for that?
OG
I'm going
Chuck
to
Smith.
bring it out a little later because I need to still work it out. But we got Calvin Rogers, Chris Dave, we got Josh Mayfield, we got I got Terry Baker, we got all kind of drummers, got all kind of bass players, Ethan Farmer, Daryl Freeman, we got DOA, it's a ton of bass players. Frank Bruno, everybody's playing. Then your husband's playing percussion. Guitar players. I mean, everybody that you could think of is playing. I got a lot of great singers. It's a lot. I'm excited about it. I'm just trying not to talk about it yet.
Yeah,
because I need to get some stuff down. But it's coming out at the beginning of the year, and it's going to be really probably my best work.
Ooh.
You gonna put that stamp on it like that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Listen,
the only difference is personnel. You know, my most elite record that I would say is the most potent record I've done was the Everlasting Life record.
Yes, Lord.
But that was me and Kim in a band. This record is going to be on that level, but it's going to be the more refined me because I understand production stuff I didn't know then from a technical standpoint.
Yeah.
But I got way more participants. But it's going to be more on that level.
Listen, that Everlasting Life album, I'm going to be honest, and I just got to say this because you hit it, bro. And I know it's going to sound crazy.
Please say it.
But you think I'm playing. It's been me and homies sitting in a dope trap smoking weed, listening to this, cuz. We listen to this.
He means it all.
It's me and niggas in the car with pistols on our lap. Listen. Oh, that's hard, bro. Listen. Like it's
wow. That's it. I love it. I mean, I ain't gonna say I love what
that's really a work of art.
Thank you.
I look at that project
coming from you.
I look at that project for real. I really do look at that project as a work of art because it takes me places. And I'm a very visual person. And if I can see stuff, when you know what I'm saying, like I can see colors when I'm. Matter of fact, Montez, remember we was doing the Ashley Simpson, and I told him, y'all remember that night? I think I was definitely high.
It was probably.
But I said, remember that night, Jen? I said, I see blue smoke coming out the speaker.
Probably.
But that night, that record that we did was Out of My Head. Remember that?
Wow.
And the record was called Out of My Head, and it was a very circusy, very quirky type record, real rock pop shit type record. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it said very, I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to explain it, but it was that back to the Everlasting Life, it really took me to a place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every song.
Yeah,
like even the interludes, I was like, yo, this is fire. It was very inspirational, very to the point where it made you want to dig deeper into your musician bag.
You
dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is great. I'm gonna tell you right now, I might be calling because I think I got a record with a sample from there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
trying to get a clearance on the show, bro.
Well,
I say, man, why you on there? Can I get a?
I don't own the master, so it don't matter to me. That's a Tommy Boy clearance.
Do they still exist?
You gotta call them.
They do. I found out that they still do. It's just they ain't doing much, but that's a clearance from them because I learned if I don't own the master, I don't care. Like, go ahead. Lovecraft called me about Take It Back. They used it in the show in a finale, her breaking out the cars, and I was excited. I negotiated that whole thing, and then none of that money went to me or Dorinda.
They was like, thank you.
It went to the label because they own that master.
Right.
See, part 2 got to happen.
Oh, no, it's the business
part
now.
Part 2 has to happen.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, this was just the initial. Lane, take us home, sweetheart.
But first of all, let me, Oh gosh, there's so much. Okay.
She ready to ask more questions.
Before we leave?
You can ask whatever you want, Jay.
Yeah.
Ask whatever you want.
Who has been the one person that has come up to you to tell you about this album that you were surprised that they listened to it?
Oh, that's good. That's good.
I was at a concert. I was at a Yellow Jackets concert. And my Russell Ferrante, one of my most favorite keyboard players, Jimmy Hayslip and Kennedy, all them was there. I was able to sneak backstage because they wasn't letting us back there. And I was just talking to him, going like, man, you use this, you use that, you da-da-da-da. I was fanning out.
Mm-hmm.
Lane, I was.
I know
was fanning
the
out.
story.
And Russell Ferrante was like, he said, yeah, man, this is great talking to you, man. He said, what's your name? I said, I'm Asaph. He says, Asaph? He says, what's the producer, Asaph? I said, yeah, I'm a producer. He said, wait. And then he pulls out his CD Walkman and says, this Asaph? And it was Kim's Everlasting Life CD.
Listen, that record,
and I
man.
said, oh my God. I said, yeah, that's me. He screams on the stage, Jimmy, it's Asaph, man. They are running over there. They have no idea. It was them that inspired me to do them interludes. But when they didn't hear themselves in the interludes, they heard something else.
Yeah, great.
So that affected me beyond everyone else that was huge that said they liked the record from Chick Corea and all them. It was Yellow Jackets because he had my CD in his CD player and they've been listening to it.
And for those of you who don't know what a CD is back in the day we used to.
It's round.
It's round. It got a heart on the top of it. You had to put it in this thing and
sticker on the top.
It's different. Yeah,
hilarious.
Printed impressive.
Yeah. So John, that was my. I would say that was my favorite. That messed me up. I went home that told me I had to protect what I do.
That's good,
you
bro.
You never know who's gonna listen.
That's good to hear because now I'm sitting here thinking about who's one of my favorite. Who said, and it wasn't something that they didn't tell me. It was in a magazine. Somebody sent
just as dope.
Ladies and
somebody
gentlemen,
sent it to me and said it was a
play.
quote from Whitney Houston. Whitney Houston said, "This Tamela Mann record song, I Hold On, is one of my favorite songs ever." I was like,
wow.
Nigga, what you just say? Whitney Houston?
King, that's impact. That's impact.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
impact.
That I'm just grateful for that question because that question now got me thinking like,
your conversion.
How do you the conversion? How do you
the conversions are
All right, let's go home,
dope,
y'all. It's 2 hours, man.
Ooh, I need
We out
some.
here.
I'm listening.
Listen, I'm excited about this for real because we can keep going.
When y'all want to just talk about some crazy stuff, y'all go ahead and call me back up.
Listen, that we do crazy stuff all the time.
I already know y'all do it anyway.
I'm trying to get crazier.
Oh, God.
They scared.
I was playing.
Well, we know you alone have that. I totally get that. I want to commend you, man. I'm going to tell you, your spirit, the reason why I mentioned the other version of you is because someone who's really, really evil and demonic can't have a conversation like we just had.
Right.
I don't see you that way. I want you to know that.
I appreciate that.
I don't.
Thank you.
I don't. I just know I also see this other version of you that's just another level in whatever you can do for the Lord too. So whatever that looks like, that's something y'all gonna come up with. But
yeah, absolutely.
I just want you to know I appreciate you and even how you handle yourself. You if it was bad, you wouldn't be able to be you. So I appreciate that from you, man.
Thank you so much, man. I do appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, brother, because you say you saved. Not that Lane and John ain't saved, but you know, man.
Whatever.
I'm sorry, Lane.
Whatever.
Let's take us off. Whatever.
Golly, now you got me.
Whatever.
You got me over there. Listen.
Let's go on.
Okay,
man.
I got to say this before I officially dismiss us. Alex, thank you. Thank you for being you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being you, and I mean that with all of my heart. And thank you for the Everlasting Life record. Also, thank you for all the other things that you've done, created, all of your influence, the impact that you have in our lives, whether it be on your social media platforms.
Thank you.
Your masterclass experiences, your lessons, your musical contributions. And I got a chance to see you play live one time, few times. That's a whole nother experience, y'all. That's a whole nother experience. I just want to thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. You're welcome. And hopefully you will come back. Because there are more things for us to talk about and to dive in and to discuss. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm going to kick it over to my brother who sends us out officially, if you will.
John, you got anything to say for it? Because it ain't much for me to say.
You going to benedict us up out of here today, bro.
Listen, that's all I'm going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do this benediction. And it goes a little something like this. Now may the Lord watch between me and thee. While we absent one from another. May he keep you in perfect peace is our prayer. I'm King. That's Lane. That's Montez. And our special guest, Alex Asaph Ward. I got Max in the back still. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Bless.